there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and we're back in Ireland. We're here in Galway, one of the best places to visit. And honestly, it's a mistake if you don't come to Western Ireland because it's gorgeous. And today what we have for you are the mistakes that tourists make when they come here to Ireland. And I gotta tell you this one, don't make this mistake, and that is not going to enjoy live music at the pub. And I mean, when you come to Ireland, pub life is a thing. You go there, you meet the locals, you have the food, you have the fun, but you have the live music. And it's one of those things about Ireland that when you come here, that pub music really enlivens even the hardest heart. You're in there and you just kind of fall in love with the experience, the ambiance. It's just a wonderful experience. So really, don't make the mistake of going to bed early and missing that live music, because honestly, one of the best parts of the country is going to the pub and just taking that live music. And also, you don't have to say Irish pub. It's like Swedish meatballs in Sweden. You just say meatballs. Here, you just say the pub. And another mistake I see tourists make when they come to Ireland is they really try to pack too much in. Now I know Ireland, you see it on a map, you're like, oh, it's just this little island. But it's this little island that is packed full of so many beautiful scenery, so much beautiful coastline, so many castles, so many great cities and villages and people and pubs. I mean, there's so much to see and do, but sometimes people try to do too much. Like, I'll talk to people like, oh, well, we're gonna fly into Dublin, and then we're gonna spend some time there, then we're gonna go to Kilkenny, then we'll head down to Waterford and see the crystal stuff, then we're gonna go down to Cork, because it's a big city, we gotta see that. And while we're there, Kinsale's one of the prettiest towns in the world. We gotta go see that, of course, yes. And then from there, I gotta go lay down and kiss the Blarney Stone too, right? Well, and then from there, we got to do the Ring of Kerry and sing Christmas in Killarney. You know, we got to see that because that's what everyone does. And then I see the Dingle Peninsula and go, huh, I should try that out too. And then, of course, I'm going to drive up and see the cliffs because we need to see that on our way to Galway. And then when we're in Galway, we're going to go up north even more. So, oh my God, people, you can't do it all. Like, people try to do that in like 2 weeks. That's like 2 years of travel. Well, maybe 2 months of travel, but you need to break it up. Because if you try to do too much, you miss out on one of the best parts of Ireland, and that is just enjoying being here. Because going to the pubs, just walking when you're in the national parks when you're here, is one of the best parts to it. If you try to pack too much in, you're go, 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 and you never give yourself that time to really enjoy it. And that's why you meet so many travelers that come back year after year to Ireland to spend even more time here so they get to really enjoy it. So take your time, go stay at a castle when you're here, and just spend your time enjoying being at the castle. Because I've seen so many burned out tourists at the Dublin airport at the end of their tour, basically being like, oh my God, we saw so many things, it was amazing. And you're like, wait, it didn't sound like you liked it. I loved it, but I'm so tired and felt like I didn't get everything out of it. Yeah, because you do too much. So maybe break it up a bit. Maybe come back next year, or maybe come back in the fall when the prices are cheaper. I don't know, but I'm just saying, be aware of that. That's one of the big mistakes I see people make. And another mistake I hear people make is really just trying to speak Irish, Gaelic. Look, you don't know how it sounds. Like, you look at it like, I don't get it. I don't understand. How was I supposed to make these sounds? Look, 2 words you should know. Crack, which means fun. So, oh, the pub was crack. It means you had a fun time there last night. It was good. And then sláinte. It's not slaint. Sláinte is cheers when you're here. You know those two, you're good to go. Because honestly, look, these are some Irish names. Do you have any idea how to pronounce them? Doesn't matter what you're saying. They're wrong. You're saying it wrong. It's okay. But I will say this. Don't make the mistake of thinking the locals will mind, because they know no foreigner, no tourists that come here can pronounce the names. They have a fun time making fun of you when you do that. And I think that's another thing you need to realize is don't make the mistake of feeling like the swear words and the little insulty kind of things are meant to be mean when you're here. The Irish, I made a video here in Galway about the friendliest places I've gone in the world, and Ireland was #1 because the people are so much fun, they're so friendly, they so want you to enjoy their country because they love their country, but also they like to give a little ha ha ha, here and there, a little fun, little poke here and there, and sometimes it means a few cuss words here and there and a few insulty kind of things, but they don't mean it in a mean way. It's not meant to insult, it's meant to endear. And if you take it the wrong way, some people get upset with it. Now that's a mistake, because the Irish are lovely, and they're lovely like your older brother and sister poking you to get you upset kind of stuff. Now the thing is, you'll probably use some swear words when you think about the weather. Yes, another mistake tourists make is they trust the weather forecast. For example, today is sunny with 1% chance of rain. If you look at my notebook, it's melting because it was raining earlier. Yes, never ever make the mistake of trusting the weather forecast when you're coming here. Do check the 10-day forecast before you come and adjust to it, but always have layers. Like, I got my t-shirt, I got my quarter zip, I got my raincoat, I got my umbrella there. I'm ready to go just in case, because I'm gonna be out all day. And that's the thing, the weather in Ireland fluctuates. So you might have a storm that only comes up for a little bit and it goes away, and you have a great day the rest of the day. Because honestly, it's not cloudy and rainy every single day here. You have really good weather. Like, I've gotten sunburned before in Ireland. It happens, okay? But you make sure you're always prepared for all the weather, because honestly, it is really a truly mistake trusting those weather forecasters. The one mistake I really don't want you to make, especially here in Galway, is not eating the seafood. Look, I know back in the day, we all made fun of Irish food. Oh, Irish food, it's potato with a side of potato and a potato. Well, yes, I could have chips, and I could have prawn crisp, and I could have a box day. Yes, I could do a 3-way potato meal, and I'd be very happy here. But the thing is, there's so much great food here, especially seafood. If you're here in Galway, the oysters are incredible. I mean, you can get throughout the country, but the oysters here, any kind of fish you have that's here, the shellfish, oh my God, the seafood, the seafood chowder is so good. The seafood, just anything you have here, the stews, oh my gosh, you're gonna love it. But also there's the traditional food. Yes, when you have the Irish stew when you're here, when you have the lamb, I mean, you eat so well when you're here. And it's really a mistake when people think, oh, I'm going to Ireland, I guess I'm just going to the pub all the time. Well, yes, you'll go to the pub and eat, because yes, their burgers are really good. But there's more than the pub grub that's here. That seafood is fantastic. And let's be honest, when we all travel around the world, when we miss home, don't we all go to the Irish pub? Because we know they got some good food that's gonna make us happy. Yeah, so all those years of us making fun of Irish food, we forgot that when we miss home, when we're in Rome or we're in Taiwan, we hit up the Irish pub because they got some good grub, okay? But the seafood is the bomb here, okay? Don't miss out on that. That is a mistake not to grab. Now, when you travel around the world, a lot of times you're not sure if you're supposed to eat everything on your plate or not eat everything on your plate. Well, I'll tell you right now, if you come to Ireland and you don't clean your plate, that is a mistake. They are definitely the clean plate club when you are here. And also, don't make the mistake of thinking it's odd if someone has a potato chip sandwich. Yes, the potato crisp. Yes, imagine that. The nice bread here with some nice Irish butter, and then you put potato chips on there. Yep, cheese and onion works. I like the prawn ones myself, but people looked at me weird doing that one. But yeah, potato chip sandwiches is a thing here. Oh, a quick little one for St. Patrick's Day. It's not St. Patty's with a T, it's Patties with a D, like double D's, okay? So just think of that. A big mistake I think tourists make when they come to Ireland is really associating anything in Ireland or about Ireland with England. They hate England. They hate England. If you ever read anything about Irish history, you will understand why they are not fans of England. If you're not sure, go to the Galway City Museum. Go to St. Nicholas's Church. They'll talk about it. There is not a really great history between England and Ireland, and it's a really big mistake saying, oh yeah, we're on my British vacation here in Ireland. No, just don't, okay? Just know that wearing your England t-shirt or your Manchester United stuff or your England Three Lions thing during a World Cup when you're here, just not a thing to do. Keep those souvenirs packed away, and just know that. Now, if they know you're tourists, they're not going to give you too much gruff, but they will say something, so it's just better not to. Now, back to touristy kind of things. I think another mistake tourists make is really not renting a car when they come here, because you really do need to rent a car to really truly explore at your own pace to see the country, because the tourists here, they're go, 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 go. You will get 2 hours at the cliffs. You will get 2 hours at the Abbey. You will get 13 minutes here. Whereas if you really want to explore it and have your own pace and really enjoy the Ireland of Ireland, where you end up sitting at the pub and you start talking to a local, next thing you know, you're there for another 2 hours, like getting to know them. You're like, I'm glad I wasn't on a tour. Like, having a car to drive around is a fantastic thing. And don't make the mistake of thinking because they drive on the left side of the road that you can't do it. You can. Okay, roundabouts are scary, I understand. But once you get out of the Dublin airport, look, if you can get out of the Dublin airport with your rental car, you've already won. Like, that is the hardest thing about driving in Ireland, is getting out of the dang Dublin airport. Hey, Dublin, can you do something about that, please? I mean, it's been 20 years I've been renting cars and leaving it's always been frustrating. A safety mistake that tourists make when they come here to Dublin is not looking right when they cross the street. Remember, they drive on the left here, so they're probably coming from a different direction they're used to. And you don't want to get hit, because it's not a good way to go, my friends. Also, probably don't want to hit up the hospital when you're here either. So don't forget, look right when you cross the street. Don't make that mistake. But honestly, going and doing those drives, the Ring of Kerry, Dingle Peninsula, going to the southwest here in County Galway, oh my gosh, You just got to do it, like the drive. And then you can go and see so many more castles, so many things. It's wonderful. But I think another mistake is don't think you can't see the country with just using public transportation. Yes, you're more limited in where you can go and when you can go, but you can go. You can get out. You can do the tours to see the cliffs. You can do the buses to go places. There's trains that'll take you around the country too. So you can use public transportation as well. So however you want to get around, you can get around. So it shouldn't limit you. And Ireland, honestly, there's associations here that will help you as a disabled traveler to get around as well. And that's what I love about this place. They try to make it great for everyone. So please, don't make the mistake of not coming here because you don't think you're welcome, because everybody's welcome here in Ireland. Now, another mistake I think people need to realize, if you're thinking about coming to Ireland, you can enjoy Ireland any time of the year. I mean, that's where people think, oh, I can only enjoy it in the summer because that's when it doesn't rain. No, I come to Ireland all year round. Halloween here, oh my God, this is where Halloween's from. You can have a fantastic time. Christmas with the Christmas markets. I mean, there's a reason why there's a song, Christmas in Killarney, because Killarney's fantastic. But other cities, they have Christmas markets all over the island you can go and enjoy, and the spirit that goes along with it. But the thing is, there's so much to do here in Ireland that you don't just have to be here in the summertime. You can enjoy it all year round. So maybe look for better times to come, because I've come here, and I'm not even joking, I've spent like $450 to do round trip to come here in October versus $1,200 in the summer. So if you're looking for a budget thing, come in the fall. Why not? It's a good time anytime to come here to Ireland. Now, let's talk about the money side of things. And I think one of the important mistakes tourists need to realize is don't make the mistake of thinking the whole country is as expensive as Dublin. Look, Dublin is stupid expensive. Like, ask anyone living there, they're like, yes, I make money here. My rent is here, if I can find a place. Like Dublin, look, your heart and your wallet will be happier when you leave Dublin to go explore the country. Why? You don't have thousands of tourists running you over everywhere, but also prices come down so much, you're like, wait, I can afford to enjoy my vacation. Honestly, don't let those prices, especially when you start looking at accommodation, going out to eat in Dublin, it can kind of be like, oh, I don't know if Ireland is something I can afford. You can afford when you leave Dublin. Now, I'm not gonna say it's cheap. Don't make the mistake of thinking Ireland is the affordable destination it used to be. I've been coming here since the early 2000s, and the increase has been a lot when it comes to pricing for stuff. So it's not the affordable place it used to be when I was a young traveler and I had to be on a strict budget. I could really explore a lot. You can still do it on a budget here, but it's not as easy as it used to be. And that's why if you are a budget traveler, getting out of Dublin is probably your best idea. Now, another mistake I think people make when they think about coming to Ireland is they don't think it's really going to be a great family destination, but that's a huge mistake. Ireland is one of the best places to bring your family, whether you got little kids or you're bringing grandma. There's stuff for everybody when you come here, and that's why I tell people, you want to do your first family trip from the US or Canada, Europe, and you want to like tiptoe into it so it's not a big, scary, different language kind of thing. Coming here is great because there's so much for kids to do, so much for, and not just little kids, like teenagers as well. It's a fantastic place to be. So that's one thing. But I know traveling with teenagers can cause us to drink, and I think that makes another mistake. Thinking that the Guinness and the Smithwicks and the Murphys you have at home, back wherever you live, are the same here. No. Look, it's like it's a whole different beer when you have Guinness here. I mean, honestly, I was never a Guinness fan until I had Guinness in Ireland. I'm like, oh my God, this is totally different. This is like heaven in my mouth. Like, what have I been missing? And now whenever I walk by the Guinness cans back at home, I'm like, you are less of a beer. Because here it's amazing. So definitely, you can do the tours. It's totally fine. I mean, yeah, the storehouse is a little tourist trappy, but you know what? It's still fun. You get to have Guinness. So what's wrong with that? Smithwicks, oh my gosh, I love it here so much. But the thing is, I will say also with the alcohol, I will say with the Guinness, a mistake some tourists make is not realizing that Guinness in and of itself can act like a meal in terms of how it fills you up. Because I'll see people getting like 3 or 4 Guinnesses with their dinner, and I'm like, so you're having 2 dinners? So do be aware of that. Sometimes the Guinness it'll hit you like an extra meal, okay? And when you do get your accommodation, when you are here, no matter where it is, maybe thinking that you're gonna have tons of space in your room is a mistake. Because I will tell you this, all the places you stay at will be sufficient for the number of people you indicated will be in that room. That is the best way I can say that there's not a ton of room in your apartments, in your hotels, in your B&Bs. I mean, just know that it's gonna be a little snug, and that's okay. I mean, you're not here to sleep. You're here to go to the pub. You're here to go to museums. You're here to go and hike and walk along the water and take in the beauties, the mountains of Ireland, not your accommodation. So yeah, thinking you're gonna have a lot of space, no. not a thing. Also, for my fun friends that like to joke about the Irish stuff, you know, thinking this is the land of Lucky Charms and river dance. Well, yes, you will see some folk dancing when you go to festivals and stuff like here in Galway. Tons of festivals are here. You will see that. And yes, Lucky Charms, top-rate cereal. But look, it's more than that, people. There's no leprechauns. Or at least that's what they tell us, because maybe they're trying to keep the gold to themselves. But yeah, the only leprechauns you're going to see here is the souvenirs all over. And I think that's another mistake. Talk about those leprechauns. I see people making the mistake of just buying the cheap souvenirs from the cheap souvenir places. I mean, I will give Ireland this. They have some of the best cheap, silly souvenirs out there. So for like gifts for kids, I love coming here because I can get kids for my kids, their friends, the kids at school, all kinds of stuff. But the mistake is just getting those. They actually have some really awesome stuff here. The artwork here, the handicrafts here. There's all kinds of things you can get to bring back home. And if you have Irish heritage, like you can get stuff to bring back that shows your Irish heritage, not just a flag, but like real artwork, real stuff, which is really nice. And talking about that Irish heritage, I also think this is one I bring up, it's in my Don'ts video as well. If you want a more serious take on this, go watch our Don'ts of Visiting Ireland video. But I will say this, the mistake of Irish Americans and other people with Irish descent coming to Ireland and say, yes, I'm 100% Irish. My great-great-great-grandparents came over on a boat to Ellis Island. Look, unless you were born here, you were bred here, and you bled here, you are not 100% Irish. They will not take that kindly. It doesn't matter if your parents are Irish, they moved to Boston, or they moved to Croatia, or they moved to whatever. No. Like, people here are like, no, you're only Irish if you lived our situation. That's why I think it's important to mention this. Don't joke around about the Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland and the Troubles. Don't joke about that. I mean, thousands of people were killed and injured and hurt and families torn apart and just horror and all kinds of stuff was going on here. There's museums that talk about it in the country and you can see it. And I mean, here in Galway, they'll talk about the independence movement and you'll see these things here and it's really a moving thing. But if you joke about it with your Irish car bombs and things, black get a black and tan, no, like that is just, it's just not something. It's just it's a mistake to joke about it. You can bring it up and talk to people about it because it's recent enough that the people you talk to, like people my age, I remember these things. I remember the bombings. I remember this kind of stuff on the news. I mean, it's something that impacts people like in my age category. So this isn't something that's way in the past. This is relatively recently when things calmed down. So joking about it is not going to come over well. And the thing is, I bring this up because I want you to have something to talk about with the locals because it's a mistake not talking to the locals because believe me, no matter where you go, you will talk to the locals when you're here in Ireland. They're some of the friendliest people in the world. I mean, that's why I said I filmed my friendliest place in the world here in Ireland. And they will talk to you. They will share their tips, their hacks, where to get the best deals. They'll share that stuff with you. But you need to interact back. Don't be that I'm on my phone all the time tourist. I don't listen to people tourists. No, I have no money for you. They're not asking for money. They're just talking to you. They're sharing with you. And that's what's so great about this place. The people are so friendly, but you need to interact back with them because they're going to share that stuff with you because they will bring it out. I know we've had drivers here before where literally it was a 2.5 hour drive and they're like, hey, let's talk. And we literally talked the entire 2.5 hours. Morris, dude, you're awesome, buddy. Like, we had such a good time. But the thing is to really get to know Ireland, you gotta get to know the people. And this is one of those countries where the people make it easy to get to know them because they're gonna chat with you, whether it's at the pub, it's at dinner, walking on the street. I can't tell you how many times people have come while I've been filming my videos here in Ireland, just coming up to chat. It's just wonderful. So all of you that came up and said hi here in Galway and all throughout the country, thank you for coming up and say hi. You all are awesome. Now, a mistake that people make when they come to Ireland is just thinking they have all the same sports that we do back home. Oh, no. They have Gaelic sports. Honestly, when you come to Ireland, if you can take in a Gaelic event, like a Gaelic sporting event, like hurling, which is basically, like I always like to say, field hockey with UFC, or Gaelic football, which is kind of like football, soccer, rugby, and UFC mixed together, it's really cool. But the thing is, if you can't get to a game when you're here in Dublin, they do have the GAA Museum, the Gaelic Athletic Association museum you can go to, which explains the games a bit better, but tells you the history and gives you some of the highlights. So it's actually a really fun place to go. So there's a mistake about the food I forgot to mention before, and it's about breakfast. And I will say this, don't make the mistake of not having a full Irish breakfast sometime, but don't make the mistake of having a full Irish breakfast every single day because you'll end up looking like me by the end of your trip. Because honestly, A full Irish breakfast has got these Irish sausages. Oh, they're so good. Oh, so good. It's got bacon, some fried eggs, there's scrambled eggs in there. You got your tomato and your cooked tomato and your cooked, mushrooms on there. The white and black pudding. Remember, white pudding's with fat, the black pudding is with blood, but it's fried up. It's so good. It tastes like, think of like a meat hash brown. You have that, you have a hash brown or potato flour that's there. The soda bread. It's a mistake not to eat soda bread every time you have it. You have a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Put tons of the butter on it. Gosh, the Irish butter is fantastic. You'll have that. But honestly, the Irish breakfast, it really is fortifying. And you need to have a fortifying breakfast when you're here in Ireland, because you are going to do hiking, you are going to explore, you're going to be going through those castles, ducking through all kinds of stuff. You need that energy for the day. Because it's not just being excited. Look how excited I'm about being here. Because I had a full Irish breakfast this morning. I can film all these videos. You get that when you're here, so don't miss out on it. Now, don't have it every day, because literally you can leave looking at like 1,000 calories in one sitting, right? And yes, you might say, well, I didn't put the cream in my tea. That ain't gonna dent it, baby, okay? So be aware of that. Oh, another food mistake, corned beef and cabbage, that's a Irish-American thing. You can get it here, but it's an Irish-American thing, not a truly Irish thing, because the Irish didn't have a lot of money, so there wasn't a lot of meat back in the day. So that's when they were in the US, that's where that really came from. So FYI, though you can get it in a boxed tea, which is a potato pancake, so you could get that. So there are options. Now, another little mistake I think is important to mention when you come to Ireland is thinking Ireland is the on-time capital of the world. Now, you think, well, it's Ireland. It's more in the Northern European kind of thing, so I would assume they're like on time, like the Germans and the Scandinavian and those English people over there. No, they're not like on-time Germans. Now, they're not like in Spain and Portugal. It's more like, we'll get there eventually kind of thing. It's somewhere in the middle, so if you're meeting up with some Irish friends, they might not be exactly on time, but they'll be there relatively nearby, a little laissez-faire kind of way. But I just think that's an important mistake to know that, yeah, on timeliness is, Irish-ish. Now, another thing I think is very important, I've kind of alluded to this when I talk about the weather and all the stuff that's here. I think it's a mistake not to have a lot of flexibility when you come here to Ireland. Now, the flexibility, one, you need some flexibility because of the hiking and the small like stairwells and some of the castles and stuff, but also the flexibility if the rain comes, do we need to change our schedule around? Or, oh, we met someone that was really cool, we found a new site, or I want to spend more time at Conmore Abbey versus going here. You want to have that kind of flexibility built in. That's why I like driving around, because it gives that to you, because that helps you explore a little bit more when you are here. And a mistake I see tourists make, which I really find rude, is just not saying thank you. Not saying sorry. Manners kind of stuff. Like, you're here, the Irish, though you might hear a few bad words here and there, the people are super friendly. They're saying sorry. They're saying thank you to everybody. You should do the same thing. You get off the bus, you thank the driver. You go to the store, you thank them. They bring you food, you thank them. The sorries, you do those kind of things. That politeness thing is something that's here that, unfortunately, I see a lot of tourists in this day and age. We're all over tourist out and so like, I gotta see everything kind of stuff. The manners kind of disappear, and that's one of those things, like, you can understand why sometimes the locals get a little frustrated with the tourists when they're just rude. I'm like, look, we've let you drive crazy on our roads and miss up, and we're still cool with you. Can we just get a please, or a thank you, or a sorry? That's all. And I think that's one of those things you need to think about. So when they give you that whiskey, remember, whiskey here is with an EY, okay? Whiskey, it's the guys with the kilts, they just have a Y at the end. Here it's EY at the end for the Irish whiskeys. Yeah, you have that. Make sure you say thank you and your bartender gives you one, because you will really enjoy it, and you will really enjoy your time here in Ireland. It's a mistake not to visit this beautiful country. So whether you're here grabbing a full Irish breakfast, the seafood, or maybe grabbing a spice bag after a few drinks with your pals, I hope you have a great time when you're here in Ireland, because honestly, this is one of the friendliest, best places to go. I tell people all the time, if you're looking for a wonderful place to visit, Ireland is the place to be. Anyway, I wish you all the best. I'll say bye from here in Galway, Ireland.